But the yarn of the day, of course, is the fact that Sydney will remain in lockdown for another week. So much for learning to live with the virus. Since this lockdown began, case numbers have been reasonably steady, between 20 to 30 cases a day, which means there is no massive spread in the community. The virus is replicating on about a one-to-one basis, but the numbers are not increasing exponentially. There are 7 people in ICU in New South Wales. That really is the only number that matters. One of those people is under the age of 30. So New South Wales Chief Health Officer Kerry Chant was out today saying that this was proof COVID was coming to get all the young people.
The fact that 37 patients have been admitted to hospital should indicate to the community the fact that COVID, including the Delta strain, is not a mild disease. It can be mild in some, but for many it can lead to hospitalisation and death.
The fatality rate is actually about 2% worldwide. Now, New South Wales Treasurer Dominic Perrottet, God bless him, was the only minister in Gladys Berejiklian's crisis cabinet to oppose the extension of this lockdown. He has sensibly called for us to learn to live with the virus, which is what we've got to do. Businesses and workers are losing money a mile a minute while the rest of the world is opening up. Here we are locking down. And these businesses, casual workers who've got no work, no money, are getting bugger all compensation for it. MP Gareth Ward, who represents Shell Harbour and Wollongong, where there has been no community transmission since this lockdown started, today questioned why his constituents were still in lockdown. He said, when you are making a serious and impactful decision to deprive people of their liberty, which hurts businesses and throws families into confusion, you've got to have a justification and evidence to back it up. But you obviously don't need a justification or evidence for that matter. Today's announcement has proven that. And to talk about this and much more, I am joined by 6PR's Carolee Katsimbarnis. Carolee, good to have you with me, my friend.
Thank you, Caleb, and hello everyone tonight.
Last time we saw each other was in Perth when the lockdown, the April lockdown over there was just happening, and we were sitting there at lunch going, oh my God, this is going to happen. I thought we just got over this, and here we are, 3 months later, and we're still talking about this stuff.
We had another lockdown in the middle of that as well last week. So, yeah,
I know.
We are still talking about it. And you know what, it is a shame that we are still talking about it, because I think that what has come out loud and clear, and we just saw, as you said, New South Wales Chief Health Officer Kerry Chant said, that we know that this is, that this virus has different effects. We know that already, but I think what we've seen this week is that the rest of the world has made the decision that we need to learn how to live with COVID-19. We've seen that Boris Johnson has said on July 19 he is opening up the United Kingdom, and I think his quote was, if we don't open up now, well, when will we ever open up? And the world is going one way, and Australia, we are a victim of our own success. We're going in the completely opposite direction, and we're just shutting down, and we're not looking at the long-term ramifications of our decisions. Now, I know that people will say, my goodness, but when the UK opens up, they'll have 50,000, I think they're expecting, 50,000 cases a day. I think they've had 37 deaths this week. But I think Boris Johnson is right in the way that if people are vaccinated, we've seen that the risk of them dying from COVID is almost zero. I mean, you can never have a full zero. But my worry with Australia is that we're on the bandwagon now of needing more vaccines, and there's been vaccine hesitancy and vaccine confusion. But are Australians going to go and bridge the next gap that when we do reach vaccination, are we going to be prepared to actually open up Australia and allow Australians out to go and travel, and allow people in for our tourism and for our other industries, higher education or whatever it might be?